I'm bored. Let's make mood boards. Friends, it's Katie, and today I'm going to be making mood boards for one of my projects. Essentially, I decided to do this because I was tired of looking at my own face and editing my own face, and I just wanted to start to develop my next project, or possibly my next project. I'm between two at the moment, but this one has more defined characters, so I thought I would make some character mood boards today. So this project is not super developed. It's kind of at a point where I haven't thought much about the world or how exactly I'm going to formulate a plot. My writing process is very much a flow and very much me just kind of trying to figure shit out as I go. Characters are the first things that come to me, so that's what I'm working on today. The story that I'm working on is a fantasy, obviously. What else would I write? And I really want to go for the vibes of a school setting and a close group of friends, a bunch of people who should not be together ending up in a kind of grouping and having to like protect each other, found family trope. Love me a good found family trope. So that's what I'm kind of going for with this. I have 7 main characters. Don't worry, I'm not planning on doing 7 points of view. That'd be insane. But maybe. If that's what the project calls for later on, we'll have to see. But for right now, no. So today, I'm just going to be showing you my 4 boy main characters and the mood boards I made for them. I have 3 other girl main characters as well that I didn't make for yet, which if y'all like this video, I can definitely make another video like this with the girls. So these characters came to me as an exercise in character archetype. So each of the characters kind of has this facade and has a archetype assigned to them by the outside world, and whether they actually live up to that or not is what is kind of seen through the internal and external conflict with character. It's something that I'm fascinated with, and not something I've done very often. I think it's something that a lot of fiction tends to rely on, which isn't a bad thing. I actually really like that. I really like when we get like character archetypes like the warrior, the badass, the golden boy, and I really like the idea of using those and the perceptions of these characters from other people and seeing how they inform who they are as people. So that's really what I'm looking at when I'm working with. The current one that I'm working on is Nikaith, and Nikaith is the party boy. He is addicted to the thrill of life, and he is a neutral good. He's a lot nicer and a lot kinder and a lot better than a lot of people perceive him as, but he tends to push people away because he is very guilty about something and doesn't think that he deserves adoration or love. So that's him. I can't tell you much more. Obviously, I don't know much more about like the actual plot and how it revolves around him. I just kind of know him as a character, and I don't want to give too much away about it because, gotta have some mystery. So our next character is Lyseno, or Lys. He is what I would call the golden boy. He comes from a legacy family in this world. Basically most of the members of his family are really high ranking, kind of aristocratic, but like not aristocrats, not like nobles. He's not like an actual prince, but that's kind of the archetype I'm going for. He's the handsome heartbreaker. He's the rock star. He's the one that everyone knows and wants to know. I've described him as having gifted kid burnout syndrome secretly. Is this me projecting? Maybe. Not really. I do like to put aspects of myself into every of my characters, and this happens to be what I've given Lys. So yeah, he is definitely the kind of heartbreaker. He has a lot of family struggles, a lot of family things that he's dealing with, and he has to hide a lot of himself from other people, and I'm like really excited to explore that with his character eventually when I write this, when I'm not writing a rewrite of an entire book, and then I have a secret project that I'm working on that I literally can't tell you nothing about, but this is not what this video is about. He is a lawful neutral, and he's probably a Scorpio too. He's secretly pretty rebellious, and if he was in our world, he would probably really rock a kind of modern grunge aesthetic. So that's Lys. So the next character is Caius, and he is the most naive of the characters I have created for this story. He grew up very sheltered. He is someone who romanticizes the idea of what it means to be a hero. The tradition, like medieval knights and like what we have come to kind of generalize them as, is kind of what he aspires to. The idea of a perfect person. He does only see things in black and white, good and evil, but on the other hand, he does always see the best in people. He's just very young. He's very naive. But he's good and kind at heart. That's just something I'm really excited to explore because I am not someone who really makes nice characters, or at least characters who are really naive and really good people at heart, or who try to be good people. He is very much a homebody. He is a lawful good, if you couldn't tell from, his whole persona and what I've kind of described him as. He doesn't realize how complicated the world is at the beginning of the book, and I'm really going to be excited to explore that while also trying to keep this aspect of him that he does see the good in everybody alive, because losing that is not part of his character. Like, I don't want that to be part of his character. I don't want him to become cynical and jaded, because so many of the other characters are. A lot of my characters in general are like this. So yeah, that is Caius, and he's a sweetie. I'm excited to play around with him. And so my last boy is the epitome of grumpy. He is a scowler. He's very cold. He likes to pretend that he doesn't have a heart, but secretly he cares very deeply for everything and is very sensitive. He is Danny. I can't really say much about him without like giving away a lot of his character and a lot of what I think you'll discover throughout the story, you know, say you ever get to read this, which hopefully one day you will, unless things have drastically changed. But he's the kind of person who believes that he has to be perfect in order for people to love him. But he's also come to realize that perfection is unattainable, so he just has given up trying to make people like him, because he knows that he cannot fake being a good person, or at least that's what he thinks. He's not actually a bad person. He's just someone who has had a rough childhood and pretty shitty parents. That's Danny. He grew up in the north in the tundra, so he's always complaining about the cold. And he's always grumpy. He's sarcastic. He has the tendency to say that he hates everyone, but, you know, actions would prove otherwise. So yeah, those are the 4 main male characters in my potentially next project after the Wrath King. Hopefully you enjoyed hearing me ramble a little bit about my characters and how I come up with characters, and a little bit about my characters, and a little bit about what my process is for this book, because it is a little bit different than how I usually do things, which has been nice to kind of explore something like this a little bit outside of my comfort zone. Hope you guys enjoyed. Happy vedif, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!